Hello, everybody. My name's Milan Starcic. Welcome to Freedom Rising, a podcast dedicated to empowering individuals on the journey to personal growth, lasting serenity, and freedom from addiction. Tune in and join the movement. Your journey to freedom starts here. We neither represent, promote, or demote any 12-step program or organization. We are merely souls on the path of recovery with the desire to expand our lives and experiences and share them with you. Hello, everybody. I'm Milan Starcic, and this is my co-host, Yosseff, and welcome to the 135th Recovery Freedom Rising podcast. Yes, it's Yosseff's first time on here. I'd love to welcome you on, brother. I've enjoyed our friendship since early March there, and I've enjoyed, being part of your journey and having you as part of mine. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself, brother?
Absolutely. First off, I'm super stoked to be here and doing this with you. This is awesome. Yeah, we've been talking about this for a minute, and it's just kind of like life's so crazy, right? My name is Yosseff. I'm a grateful drug addict in recovery, and yeah, my story is a lot like everybody else's. You know what I mean? Like substance abuse from a young age. I spent about 35 years in active addiction, and this is a progressive disease, right? And it really skyrocketed. I was in an accident 2022. I was in a really bad motorcycle accident, shattered my pelvis, and in the hospital, the only thing that would touch it was the oxycodone, and I left there with a substantial oxycodone addiction. Um, and that's when my disease really progressed. And to get off the oxy, I used the cocaine, and then it was both, and then the cocaine went to freebase, and then you know what I mean. September, I went to treatment. My sister took me to treatment. Sister is a huge part of my life. You've met my baby sister. She's amazing.
Shout out to Danny.
Shout out to Danny, man. I love that. I love that woman. She's my best friend. She's at times my parent. At times, just she's my rock. At times I'm her rock. But yeah, she took me to treatment, and and yeah, and so now I'm in active recovery, and I love it. I love life right now. Today I love my life. You know, there's times it wasn't good, but today I love my life. Yeah.
That's amazing. And so I ask one question to everybody who comes on because I think it's important for newcomers and everybody out there to see that turning points are different in everybody. Can you remember what the pivotal moment was when the program lit a recovery fire in your heart, when it went from I have to I'm loving to?
Absolutely. So like I said, I went to treatment in September. I went to I don't know if we're allowed to shout out, but whatever. I went to Solid
Yeah,
Ground
oh,
in Burnaby.
I always shout out to things that I would recommend.
TWC, T Dub. Shout out to T Dub and Solid Ground. Great, great, loving men there. So I went to treatment, and I didn't believe I was a drug addict. I don't know how, right? I've shared this before at meetings. Like I rolled in there at 160 pounds. I was like 40, 50 pounds underweight. I was sick. I was dying. I'd been up for weeks. I'd been living off crack cocaine and vodka, and I still I didn't think I wasn't like you people. I wasn't like you. I was different. I just needed a break. I went there because, just to make my baby sister happy because I love her. And I just needed a little break from my life, right? So I went through treatment, and I went to meeting every day, sometimes two a day, and I said the words, "I'm an alcoholic, I'm a drug addict," but I never believed it, right? And it was a non 12 step program, but they still had their own kind of steps. Went through that, did that, and I got a lot from it. But I thought I was getting what I needed to just sniff cocaine like a gentleman, right? To
Yeah.
drink like a gentleman, right? I left treatment still not thinking I was a drug addict. So that I stayed sober for about a week after treatment. And here's the truth of the matter: I used in treatment, right? Here, spoiler alert. I got my hands on some powdered cocaine in treatment, and yeah, and I cooked it up, right? Guys from TW, I'm so sorry if this is your first time hearing that. But yeah, so I left treatment not thinking. So I lasted about a week sober, and I relapsed hard. I relapsed hard, and my addiction picked up right where I had left it off. I just had some more meat on my bones, and I was, a little healthier. But and I spent about so I got out in September, October, November. So New Year's, So from like 2 weeks after treatment to like New Year's, so a couple of months, I was just going down hard and fast. And then I went to my sister, and that's when I really surrendered. And that's when I realized, oh my God, I am like you people. I am a drug
Mhm.
addict. So I went to my sister, I went to my roommate, my best friend Megan. Shout out to Megan too. She's amazing. And her mama Joanna. I went to these three women, and I surrendered. I gave them my keys, my wallet, my phone, and I said, I need help. Like I really need help. So it was actually like after I left treatment, um, and I had to relapse, and I
Mhm.
had to live through that, that I figured out like, oh my God, that's what I am. I am a
Mhm.
drug addict. Like, and it like blew my mind. You know what I mean? Oh, now it makes sense. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. What they're saying makes, oh yeah, because I am like them.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so
I
that was the
literally
tipping
died of
point.
terminal uniqueness. I get it.
Right?
Yeah.
So so to answer the question, that relapse is when I surrendered and really was like, okay, I need to I need help. I need to get some help, or else this is gonna kill me, you know.
Mhm.
And that's just two ways about it. That's when I realized I can't sniff cocaine like a gentleman.
Yeah, well, you know what? I actually don't know anybody long term who does sniff it like a gentleman. Like I've seen some people with beer and wine and drink like gentlemen, but it's
Yeah.
inevitable that
Tolerate it,
cocaine
right?
removes the gentlemanness from anybody.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so just to kind of finish off the story is, did you go back to treatment? Did you start going to meetings? Like what
So
now,
okay, so what I did
what
was
pulled, where did
I
you go
told
into the program and how did you get there?
right. So first off, before I went to treatment, I'd never gone to a meeting before. And I was a I was definitely a functioning addict, right? Like I had been since I've been using cocaine since I was 13 years old and alcohol. But so what I did was I didn't go back to treatment. I made my home like a treatment center. So I I had a curfew. I gave myself a curfew. I didn't have a phone, right? I started my phone, my keys, my wallet. So I didn't have a car. I didn't have a phone. I couldn't reach out to anyone. I had no wallet. I had no access to money. And I put myself on house arrest, on lockdown, and I was not allowed to. So in these three women, I was not left alone for 1 second for 3 months. There was always somebody with me. And I detoxed after that 2 month relapse or whatever in my home, right? Um, and then I remembered everything from treatment, right? And I did 90 meetings, 9 days. Actually, I just kept going. I didn't stop going to meetings daily, even after the
Mm.
90. And so I tried to make my life and my home like a treatment center as best as I could, right?
Mm.
And and it worked. But I got to 5 months, but still in the back of my head, I had this like romantic idea um of like my addiction, uh how do I say it? My addiction, like the lies, right? Like the lies that
Yeah.
little asshole talks to you, right? Like, oh, I know some because I live with chronic pain
Yeah.
from my accident, right? Like it was a horrific accident, miracle I'm alive. Like right there, like there's a higher power. Okay.
Yeah.
Like that one thing. Anyway, I digress. Uh so I made my life like a treatment center, and then my addiction kind of was, you know, always there, kind of picking. So I was about 5 months in, and I was just and now when I look back, I could see all the prelapsing that was happening. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
I was starting to eat shit food again. I started to slack off at the gym, right, which is a massive part of my recovery. Exercise is massive in recovery,
I
everyone.
100%.
It just is. Um, so I can now looking back, I can see the prelapses happening, and one day I got a case of the fuckets,
Mm.
and I went and picked up, and I went and I grabbed three gurs, and I did it, and then as soon as I did it, right, it was like, oh, it's all a fucking lie.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Yeah.
Oh man, it doesn't take away any of the anxiety. It doesn't take away any of the pain that I'm living with daily. It doesn't fix anything. So all those romanticized little like that get out of pain free card I had in my back pocket, gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
as
I
soon as
know.
I did it, I was like, oh, and then I was like, well, I just threw away like, but, and then I was like, okay, um, well, I didn't enjoy it. It doesn't count. That
But
doesn't
you could
count.
learn a lesson, you know?
Yeah, and I did, right? But
Yeah.
I didn't. So at first, though, because at first my addiction was like, that's okay. You don't need to tell anyone about it. It's
Ooh.
fine. You don't need to tell anyone. So I sat on that for about 3 days, and it was killing me, bro. Like it was eating me up inside, and I'm still going to meetings every day. Like I go to, you know me, I go to meetings
I
every day.
knew something was wrong, though. I
Like, you knew
remember.
something was up. You checked in on me, and I'm like, "What are you talking about, bro? Yeah, I'm fine, whatever." But I wasn't,
I
because
could
I'd real
tell.
then I was sitting with that guilt and the shame of the relapse. And then I said to myself, that's something I learned in treatment. Like, if you don't be honest about it, that leaves that door open a crack.
Yeah.
If you leave that door open a crack, that your addiction is going to get in there, shoehorn,
Yeah.
crowbar may open, and then bam, it's going to hit you. So I came clean to my sister first and my roommate, and then to all you guys at our Thursday meeting, right?
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
when I you were doing
The
the
fobs.
yeah, and I was like, I'll
Oh,
take that way, and you were like, I knew it.
I did though. Like, dude, people going radio silent. It's like any of my friends that go radio silent. I'm like, twing. I'm like, no, you got 5 seconds to say something back. You know, when you get nothing back from someone in the program,
Yeah,
something's even if they're not relapsing, they could be prelapsing. And I'm
yeah,
like, hey, I'm still here. Like, I still love you. You know, like,
yeah, 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 and that's the thing, right? And so and then what that so it was like kind of my first relapse when I got out of treatment, when I really relapsed, when I discovered I was a drug addict. That was a changing pivotal point. And then this little slip. I mean, it wasn't a slip. There are no. I don't believe that there's slips. I,
I think
I
that's a namby-pamby word.
yeah. That's a gentle term, right? I fucking relapsed, yo.
Yeah,
I went and I bought a pipe. I got the stuff. I put it. I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about the
you can do
drug use.
whatever you want. Yeah,
Okay, cool. Like I planned on smoking crack, and I fucking smoked crack.
yeah.
But what I turned that relapse, and a friend in our program, and he's, and he taught me this. Like I turned it into a prolapse, which is funny and
Yeah.
it makes me laugh because I think a prolapse asshole. But like
Mm.
it's true. I turned it into a prolapse, right? And what I learned from that, and you know what, I'm grateful for that relapse.
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank the goddess. Thank my higher power that I did that relapse happened.
And that it was that fast.
And it was that fast. Yeah, I didn't burn my life down. You know
Mm.
what I mean? All the tools I got from our programs, because I'm in both fellowships. Uh, I'm in all fellowships. I love fellowship.
Yeah.
Fellowship, yeah.
Yeah.
But the tools I learned from you, from all of our brothers and sisters, right? It pulled me back, and I recognized the lie for what it was. And another great thing that happened after that relapse is uh, my obsession or my desire for cocaine
No.
gone, gone.
See, it's like you
Really gone.
burned your reservations up. Like your reservations. It's like you were literally having to see that it was lying. Like the lie
Yeah,
needed dispelling. And it's
right.
quite true. Like I remember like 24 years ago, I had a speed problem and I quit for like 9 months. And then I was like, oh, it's going to be fun one time. And I went right to like crazy psychosis, hating every freaking moment. And I was like, okay, being done was the right thing. And it
Yeah,
took that one moment to
yeah,
define that I never want to go there again.
yeah, yeah.
Because like, and that was even without a belly full of program. Like, like
Oh,
now, like some of the other guys I do a podcast with, like one of them, I think it was after 2 or 3 years that he relapsed, and he said having a mind full of program ruined using for him.
yeah.
Like he's
I've
like
heard
he's
that
like
before.
he's like there's no way I couldn't see through what was going on.
Yeah, yeah. Oh no, like I heard somebody say that in meeting once. Like once you get a dose of recovery,
Yeah.
getting high, it's just it takes the fun out of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because you don't
like
believe the lies anymore.
No, yeah, that's exactly what happened to
Like,
me.
am I
Like,
actually doing better? Am I actually like, you see that it's like this false facade of like ego, like whoop, like your ego goes up and you think all these things are happening, but that's not really reality.
Yeah. Well, what's even scarier is when the psychosis sets in,
Yeah.
because that's what happened too. And all
Yeah.
of a sudden, I got a crazy story for you. I don't know if I should even tell it, but I got a crazy story about psychosis. Maybe we'll save that for a different show or something. But it was literally, but that's another thing too, right? Like it's just like same as you, right back in psychosis, and just like, my God, like fuck, like
Yeah.
this is
This is
terrible.
not the fun part,
This is
like,
not good. And it
yeah.
can't be fun for people like us anymore
Yeah.
because we're not normies.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like you've heard me
It's
say
like you
many
never
times.
can relight the top of a candle once it's burned down.
Yeah, no, yeah, no. You can never go back to normies, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if I even like that term, but that's the term I use as normies to describe people that aren't in the program, um,
Yeah. I
or people
just
that.
like, we're just definitely different, like,
Yeah,
and but the idea that it was like nobody was like me kept me sick for a long time. I was like, nobody does that exact kind of thing I do with the uppers and the booze, and they're not going to understand. So if I go in this fellowship, they won't know me, and if I go in that one, they won't know me. And it was like I was prepared to die being alone because of my
yeah,
terminal uniqueness.
yeah,
Like I was
yeah,
never one of them ever
yes, yeah.
until there was nothing left of me, and then it was part of everything.
Yeah, and then it takes over who you are. Then because
Yeah,
at the end, before I went to treatment, my whole life was crack cocaine. My
yeah,
entire life, like that's
yeah,
all there was. If I did sleep, because eventually your body just shuts off, right?
yeah,
Well, that's another thing too. I would if I was like so tired and I need to sleep, well, I'd have to do a big ringer and then I could sleep for a bit. Wake up. If I didn't have one already made, I'd make one up.
yeah,
And and it becomes the life. It becomes the entirety of you, like you were
yeah,
saying, right?
yeah.
And then what is actually us is just gone. That's just gone. And then
It's
and
so
then it's
stomped on at that point. I
yeah.
think it's
And
still in. I believe now that it's still in there, man. Like, I really feel that It was a pivotal point for me where I was about maybe 16 months or something into the program, and there was a lady sharing, and she was just like, she's like, it just gets really covered up and scarred, but that perfect heart is still there.
ooh, I
Yeah.
like
I,
that.
and it's just like it just might take some shining, but you'll shine that light out of you again, you know?
Yeah,
And I really loved that because
I
I
like
just
that.
felt like I'm sick of feeling my whole life like I'm bad, dishonest, evil,
Yeah,
Like I'm made
yeah.
bad and dishonest and did evil
Yeah,
things, but it
yeah.
doesn't mean that that's who I am at the core.
No, exactly
Like
right.
I can't I
It's
can't
not
work off that negative premise the rest of my life.
no, no,
Yeah.
no, you can't
Yeah.
because like yesterday you can't. That's what's so great about this program. Okay, it's a day at a time, one day at a time, right? We got 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
Yesterday does not fucking matter. Like
Yeah.
10 yesterdays ago does not fucking matter, man. It's today,
Yeah.
and we choose every day when I write. And another thing I picked up from treatment was journaling, right? I journal, and every day I'm grateful that I woke up sober, and at night I'm grateful I'm going to bed sober. I journal. Writing is so important to my program.
Mhm.
It's such a big. It's just as important as gym, as family, as meetings, as you know what I mean. And
Mhm.
I write it out every day, and I write like I'm choosing today.
Mhm.
Today I choose to go through life clean and sober. I
Yeah.
choose that. I choose to walk with integrity and honesty and power. I choose that for myself today. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And,
Yeah.
and I don't know if I didn't write that it didn't wouldn't, but I ain't gonna fucking chance it. It's working,
Yeah, but
right?
writing it down adds some strength to it. Like I
Listen,
really
listen.
believe in the power of the pen in that way.
Yes,
You
listen.
know?
Words are magic. That's why it's called spelling,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, you're casting spells when you write. It's just and that's just a big part of I think writing it's a big part of my spirituality too, right? Like I've always been a spiritual person, not to get off on a weird thing, but but that got lost too, right? The essence of who I am a spiritual person, right? I've heard it said, we're spiritual beings having a human experience. maybe that's what it is, but I've always been a spiritual person. And that got really trampled on in over the years in my active addiction, right? And one of the
Mm,
greatest gifts of recovery for me is bringing that back into my life
yeah,
and bringing and shining off
yeah.
the shit of addiction, right? And letting that shine out. And it's very important to me. And I have a spot in the forest I go to every day. I've talked to you about this.
Yep.
I go there every day and I pray, and yeah, and it's a massive part. And that's the thing, right? About gifts recovery is finding. We get to find ourselves again. When I went to treatment, my best friend Megan, she said to me, she said, "Go and find yourself. Go and find yourself again." And then I was
Mm.
thinking, it's not finding myself again. It's just finding myself. Like, who the hell am I? After 35 years of living in
We
active
haven't had
addiction.
any adult life straight, dude. We haven't grown
No,
up yet. We're
no.
literally growing up in the program right now.
Yeah. I would my emotional and mental
Yep.
self was arrested at 13 years old
Yeah,
when
me
I
too.
first took that cocaine. And
Yep.
then I was a daily user of something my
Yeah.
whole life because
Yeah.
I couldn't deal with life on
Yeah.
life's terms, right? Like
Yeah.
I couldn't. I literally could not do anything. I remember times like, oh, I got to go to the bank. I just to go talk to someone, or else I
Yeah.
was fidgeting. Like, and then so that was my norm. And it's so crazy to think about it, right? We do all these substances to feel normal when and
Yeah.
then like, oh, I've done too much of this. Okay, we'll do a little bit of this to bring me down. Oh, I better have a drink because I did too much rips. Oh, bring it. You know what I mean? And we're
Yeah.
constantly trying to feel normal. When
Yeah.
if we just don't put anything in our bodies, we feel normal.
Yeah. No. Well,
Whatever
and
that
and
is.
and, and our normal came with a chain and shackles. Like right now, my normal's free.
Mhm.
Like my normal is freedom, and it doesn't have, like, I don't need this or that to get up in the morning. I don't need this or that for that appointment. Like, it's just like, I just need to take care of this. I need to take care
Yeah,
of this, and right
yeah,
in my heart. And when those, when the physical, the mental, and my heart are nurtured,
yeah.
I'm ready for any day.
Word. Yeah. Yeah, and that's so important, right? Like to me, that's why like gym is so important to my recovery. And
Yep.
and I didn't really see. This is the thing I didn't get right. I'll go to these meetings, I'll look around, and I ain't naming names, but there's people I'm just like, what? Why'd you even get clean? You're not even going to take care of yourself. Like you're
Yep.
just rotting away. Like and like and that's maybe and maybe that's the addict in me being judgy and stuff or with character defects. And I try not to judge people, but often I'm like in my head, I'm just like, fucking come on, man, go to the gym, like go for a walk,
Well,
go for a run. Like you just
what
got
I've
sober just to do nothing. Like
I've discovered for myself that really, like, doing a lot of physical, a lot of physical is the only thing clearing out my mind, getting my
yeah,
circulation going so that parts of me heal. And
hmm
it's just like, if I don't do that physical component, I'm a squirrely, self-deprecating jerk. You know,
right, yeah,
yeah,
I can
like
do
I don't feel good about myself. Like,
yeah.
I don't feel good, so I don't feel good about myself, and then that just kind of
Yeah.
mangles my ability to reflect the universe in a positive way. And
Oh,
and
that's
and
good. I
and,
like that.
and
Yeah.
like, one of the first things, man, when I start working with a sponsee is I say, how are you sleeping? What are you eating? And are you doing some kind of exercise?
Yeah.
Because I now believe, man, if there is not some kind of cardio in there, like, it takes our blood really flowing to wear off the toxins that are sitting in our body after
100%.
all this damage. And,
100%.
like, for me, it took me 6 months to quit smoking in the program. And then it took me about another 4 months after that to really start doing physical stuff. Like, it was kind of like the cigarettes were kind of making it hard to breathe and do stuff. And so I really wasn't pushing beyond that. And then once I dropped the smokes, then it was like my physical freedom started coming out.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. Can we pause for a sec?
Yeah. So today's topic is steps 4 and 5, and you have just kind of completed your step 5 recently. And can you share what those steps meant to you and why you were happy to come here today and discuss them?
Okay, so first off, I didn't get a lot of joy out of step four, right? Like it's okay. Phew, so I'm doing a set of steps right now, out of the book of the NA step guide.
Mm,
So here's something with me. Okay, so if I get a job to do and it says do a thorough job, I fucking do a thorough job. You know what I mean? That's just what I
yeah.
am. I'm a worker. I'm a goer. So I dug deep on that step four, man, and and to be honest, doing that step four is when I relapsed,
Mm,
and I really think it was in some ways I think these steps should come with a warning, right? So
yeah.
if you're gonna do them and you're gonna do them thorough and you're gonna dig up that kind of stuff, like be prepared, And I don't think I wasn't entirely prepared. And it's not that my sponsor wasn't preparing me for it. It's not that at all. Um, but I just really wasn't prepared for the stuff that I was going to dig up, man, and the horrible things that I did to people, and the horrible things that were done to me, you know,
Mm,
and my life in active addiction, and I was sitting, while writing this step four, and I was on step four for months, and it's not because I wasn't doing it, but like I mean, every question I was doing essays, I was doing the work, right? All day. And I'm retired now because of my accident. So my days are really just recovery. If it's not like drug addiction or addiction recovery, it's recovery, like physio, chiropractor, whatever. Anyway, so I have the time to do it and to do it right. So I'm sitting and I'm writing about this filth. You know what I mean?
mm,
Every day. I'm going to meetings every night and I'm talking about drug use. And I'm just sitting in it. And it was a big, if I'm honest, it was a big reason. And listen, I made the choice to relapse. Yeah, I did. But it was a big reason that I relapsed was writing that step four and not being prepared for the stuff I was going to dig up. So obviously finishing my step four, um, I was just like, thank God that's over. And I said to my sponsor, I was like, I'm never fucking doing that again. I'm never doing a set of steps. I'm never. And he's like, don't say never. And now that
mm,
I've moved on in the steps, like, um, it was so important that I got that out. You know what I mean? Because I
mm,
don't, I don't have to talk about that again. I don't have to write about that again. I was thorough, right? So
yeah.
doing my step five, wow, man, the freedom. Now
Uh,
that
you did that with your sponsor or with someone else?
with my sponsor,
Okay.
yeah.
And just how long did it take? I mean, a lot of people
Oh,
describe that their step 4 or 5 can be a couple hours, 3 hours, or
oh,
whatever.
um, yeah. So okay, so I don't know. Maybe a lot of you people have done like a step four or five with the step guide.
Mm,
With the big shout out to,
yeah.
um, yeah. So what I do is I meet with my sponsor every Sunday, and I
Okay.
go over the step work right from step one to whatever, and I go
Yeah.
over the what I've done, right. Um, so as I'm doing my step four, I am also doing my step five at the same time, kind of, right,
Okay. Yeah.
right.
I see.
So hours, it took hours and hours and hours to actually
Mm,
over days, over weeks,
mm,
over months for me
yeah.
to actually finish and complete the
Yeah.
step four and five,
Yeah.
right? Like so I don't know how many hours.
Yeah.
You know
Okay.
what I mean? Like
Yeah. I didn't
no,
know if it was done in one dose. So like there,
no,
yeah.
no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
But I mean, so like kind of our last sit down with my steps, uh four or five, whatever.
Mhm.
um because when you do it that way, you're kind of doing them at the same time, okay, kind of.
Yeah.
So as you're reading your step four, answers to these questions, these essays that I wrote, I'm doing the step 5,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then the step 5 in the workbook is kind of talking about like getting ready to do what you've already done. It's
Yeah.
kind of it's kind of weird, right? But yeah, but what I wanted to share about why I wanted to come and talk about it was like um because how do you explain the freedom that you get from that? Like how do you even describe that? Um it is, and it's gonna sound fucking cheesy, but it's life changing. It is life changing when
It is
you talk about,
absolutely
when
life
you get it
changing.
out, and not just get out the shit that I did to other people, but those secrets that I had that were
Mm.
done to me when
Yeah.
I was young. Okay, like
Yeah.
to get that out, because the more that's out, the less control it has over me, and that's one less tool for my addiction,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So getting out all this shit, all this filth, getting all that out and saying it to another addict, right?
Mm.
What does it say? What I don't know word for word. To yourself, to your higher power, and to another addict, right? Another human being, another addict.
Admitted
So
to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs.
there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I look at that as not just like an our wrongs, but not just our wrongs that we've done, but
Yeah.
our wrongs that were done to us, because those still are our
Well, those
wrongs
are
as
the
well.
resentments, really. The ones
That's
that
where
you,
the
like our
resentments come.
perception of being the victim. You know,
Yeah,
like I did not know what step 4 and 5 was, right? When I started my step 4, I
yeah.
thought there was going to be a single file line up to the left out the fucking door of people lining up to say sorry to me, because I would have my resentments written out so tight that they were going to have no way out but to say sorry to me. And then I didn't know it ended up at my part. and, and it was just like, oh,
Yeah,
oh. And
yeah.
after about 4, I was like, I can see where this is going.
Yeah, you can see the common denominator. What's the
Common,
common
denom-
denominator here?
common
Hate.
denominator, man, was intolerance, lack of acceptance, like emotional amplifying to enable using. Like it was
Right.
just like
Yeah.
I was overblowing every frickin' emotion in order to be off using.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like,
For excuses.
yeah,
For excuses. Anything
yeah,
for an excuse.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Our addiction will take anything. Oh, I stubbed my toe. Well, fuck. Huh.
yeah.
Better sniff some cocaine.
The-
Like,
Yeah,
you know?
it was absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
So anybody out there who's new and just tuning in, step 4 is made us searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Step 5 is admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrong. And people say these steps mark a pivotal point in the 12-step journey, a shift from surviving to awakening. In step 4, we courageously shine light into the corners of our lives we've kept hidden, taking inventory not just of our actions, but of our resentments, fears, motives, and patterns. Step 5 invites us to speak this truth aloud, not just cleanse our past, but open ourselves to deeper honesty, humility, and connection. These steps are about uncovering, discovering, and discarding the groundwork for real transformation. And I feel that, like, you know, for me, I remember it hurts as much to pull a scar off your heart as to put it on your heart. But the thing about this is that I was so happy because now I could never unsee what I was doing to others. Like,
Ooh,
like
yeah.
the second I did all that and saw that that was what has really transpired with my wife, my daughter, my mom, my best friends, everybody,
Yeah.
it was like, I can't do that again and not know ever. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like I've always said before that my step 4 to 7, I was a fool with no tools in the dark. And now that you've
Yeah.
turned the light on, I can never unsee the room. I can never unsee the room.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. And
it's,
that's what this is about, right? This is about a journey of self exploration, right? That's what
yeah,
we're doing. This
yeah,
work that we're doing, it's not, yeah, it starts off as just learning how to live without drugs. That's how it starts. It starts off so simple, okay? Step one,
yeah,
so Well, in my case, step one wasn't simple. It took a long time for me to even
Yeah,
like believe that I was an addict, right?
yeah,
It wasn't like you people. I was different. But like that's what this is about. This is about finding okay. It's about finding who we truly are and then making that better. And every day we make it a little bit better and we
yeah,
figure things out. We do
yeah,
the work. And that's why I say I have no business talking to normies. I
yeah,
have no business talking. I have no business talking to normies. I got no business talking to people in active addiction unless it's to help, right?
yeah,
Like I've gone to I went to that same place you did, right? And had to talk with the people who were in active addiction, right?
yeah,
And trying to bring some hope or
yeah.
some love into their lives, right? That was hard, eh? That
That
was
was
hard.
hard. Yeah,
That was tough. Yeah, yeah. God bless Matthew. Shout out to Matthew. God bless
yeah,
that man in his
yeah.
heart.
And his friend Mark. I don't know if Mark was there when you were there. I think his name's
Yeah,
Mark.
yeah, I
Yeah,
met Mark. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Both those
Like God
guys,
bless
man.
them.
And
Yeah,
Rob. Yep.
man. Like, and they did to go and they feed the homeless and they love them and they try to bring them recovery, right? Some
Yeah.
people give static about that about feeding the homeless because then you're enabling them and you know what? I don't believe that. I believe and so what if it's a free sandwich that gets them into the room?
Hey, man.
So
I took
what?
care of my child when she couldn't take care of herself, and that's somebody's child.
That's yes, right? Oh yeah, I
You
like
know.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah, man,
man.
boy, I just felt emotional thinking about those people on that couch in that room. Like that
Yeah.
was, for anybody
And
out there who
some
doesn't know, our friend Matthew, there's like kind of a place where addicts can live at this old hotel in Penticton, and they get somebody to come in every Saturday or Sunday or both days. I'm not sure, but they basically kind of get them in there with some chips and some pop for to come and listen to some of the message and those
well,
people
it's
are
a
not.
meeting. It is a meeting. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah, but
meeting.
they're not happy on that. Like those people are not living. They're not happy, joyous, and free. They're at the point of
No,
trapped.
there. Yeah, like there's no some of the people. There's no light. There's no light there,
Yeah,
and you can see like that person. You get like that person's fentanyl. And
yeah,
that's what
yeah,
they are. It's
yeah.
what they are now.
At
And
that point, right now, yeah,
just like we were at one time, right?
yeah,
There's that's the thing, right? They have that's the thing, right? They have the same disease. They have
yeah,
the same disease as I do, right?
yeah.
I'm just at I'm oh man,
You've arrested it
somehow
right now. You've arrested
it's
it through
arrested,
the.
right? I have a daily reprieve.
Yeah,
It's very important to remember that, right? Like, and you hear it's very important not to get cocky. I've seen it in the rooms. I've seen people with some long sobriety, and you can see the cockiness. And
no,
I don't say nothing, right? But like, here's the trip. Here's my trip. 30 days or 30 years, it's all the fucking same because it's one day. It's who
yeah,
got up first. If
yeah.
I got up before you, Milan, I got more sobriety than
I
you.
know, but and this is the
Simple as
thing.
that.
I'm up before everybody all
And
the
you
time.
are up
Every
before
time I'm
everyone.
at
It's
the meetings,
ridiculous.
I'm like long-term sobriety.
Yeah, yeah. I've been up since four.
Yeah,
Yeah. My alarm goes off at 5:30. I don't even know why, man, but I get up at 5:30 in the morning.
yeah,
Why? Because I love it now. I love it. I
yeah.
love waking up in the morning. I'm so fucking grateful. Like I love my
Yeah,
life, and it's because of these programs. It's
yeah,
because of this brotherhood
mm,
of having other addicts that I can relate to, people I can relate to,
mm.
and life, and I see life now, and I see what a gift I have. It's such a gift, man. It's such a beautiful gift that we have.
Have you heard that phrase "trudge the road of happy destiny"? It's like
Yeah,
it's in the book, the AA book.
yeah,
Well, what I
yeah,
learned at this conference is the word
yeah.
trudge
Like,
means
yeah, I
walk
don't.
with purpose.
Yes, yes. I
And,
heard that
and,
from an old timer at a meeting.
yeah,
Yes,
it means walk with purpose. It
yes,
doesn't mean
yes.
like walking through mud on a rainy day with a bunch of
No,
shitheads. Like
no.
and
Yeah,
uh and it's just like, when I get up, like I set my alarm and I'm usually up before it, but when I set my alarm, it's like I get up and there's just a purpose to my morning now. Like my life,
yes.
like my life program is my
Mhm.
purpose. And my purpose is to continue learning and growing, you know?
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. No, that's a that you just put into words. You just told my story. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wake up and I'm like, I have shit to do.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Like I'm so lucky. I get today. Like today's a wicked day. My day is busy from nonstop. I haven't even been to the gym yet. That's how
Yeah.
busy my day has been, and that's like whoop.
Yeah.
right? So I won't be able to get to the gym until after our nooner meeting.
Yeah.
Which I'm not going to go to that one with you. I'm going to the other one.
Yeah.
But anyway, but whatever.
Okay.
Um, so what a great life. I get to, okay, shit, what meeting am I going to go to? You know, but I got, physio, massage therapy, a meeting, step work,
Yeah.
doing a podcast. Like,
Yeah.
what? Life is wicked, man.
It's
Life is full.
full. It's full.
Oh, my life is full. My
Yeah.
life is full. Yeah. People, they, oh, you're retired. How is it being retired? I'm like, well, I don't even know what that means. Like, I don't,
Yeah.
I don't have days off. There's no
Yeah.
days off. I
No,
don't
no,
have a
there's
day
no
off.
days off in what we're endeavoring
No,
on. Well,
no, man. And I don't want any. I don't want a day off.
and like for
Once in a
me, it's
while,
like going to a meeting. It's not like got to. I love like it's
no, I
generally
get
one of the
to.
highlights of my day.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah. I
know?
get to do it. I'm
Yeah.
I'm recently, so I'm just starting another. I've decided to start another 90 and 90.
Yeah.
So yesterday was day one. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna do 90 meetings in 90 days, 90 gyms in 90 days, 90 eating clean for 90 days.
Woo.
What was the other one? I had another one too. I don't remember. There's another one. I keep adding things to my 90, right?
Yeah.
So
That's
this is day
awesome.
two. This is day two of my 90s. So I'm just gonna do a bunch of 90s. And then yeah, and well, the reason why is because I challenged somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
So if I challenge somebody to do it,
Then
then
you
I
better
gotta
be
do it.
ready to do it
I better be
yourself.
ready to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a person who's newly coming back, but not new to the program, and
Yep.
anonymity. So I'm not gonna say names.
Yep.
Anonymity.
Yeah.
Nailed it. So like, I'm not gonna name names, but it's somebody who's been in the program for a while, but is newly coming back, and I just, I challenged her. Let's do
Yeah.
it. Let's
Yeah.
go. You're right. All right. So I have to be able to, you
Yeah.
know, yeah, and yeah, that feels good, and
But
I
you know
get
what?
to
It's
do
good to have accountability partners. I mean, that's one thing about this program, like whether it's your sponsor, whether it's people you see at the meetings,
that.
it's just good to have like minded people going on that same journey because I find that motivates me. Like I know
Yeah,
that when I have step work and I'm like, oh, I don't want to show up with my sponsor and look like nothing done Johnson. you know,
yeah, no, for sure. I know it's yeah, and that's what I was going to mention before is because like when I was doing my step 4 and 5, I said to my sponsor like I'm never doing that again, like never. And he's like, don't never say never. But now, I've gone past those steps. I'm working on my step 9 right now, and like I don't have a time. There's no time limit.
yeah,
You know what I mean? I'm not having a time limit because then I was thinking because after this, I'm going to do another set of steps. I'm going to do step AA steps.
yeah,
Then I'm going to do whatever steps I can find. I'm just
yeah,
going to keep doing step because I find that this shadow work, right? I call this shadow work, right?
yeah.
This shadow work, this digging deep is so important to my recovery, and doing these. So every day I do step work every day.
Mhm.
And some days it's just one question.
Yeah,
But some days, if I have the time,
yeah,
I'll sit there for hours, man. Or I'll come back to it a couple times a day. Maybe I'll
yeah.
do step work a couple times a day. Same as my journal. And yeah, I
I
gotta.
find,
Yeah.
I liken step work to like peeling a translucent onion. It's like you peel off a
Yeah.
layer and you can still see there's rod underneath, but you don't know exactly what that rod is. And you got to peel that next layer. And you're like, whoa, oh, there's a bit more back there. And it's like every time through the steps takes you to
Yeah.
one little deeper layer.
Yeah.
And whether we ever get to the middle, I have no clue because I'm not that far along. But I do
Yeah.
know, like, one of the things for myself was, I was telling you a little bit about getting into the two-way prayer, but this time on what I'm doing for my steps with this step working group is instead of resentments mostly, mine's going to be about beliefs.
Mm.
So it's like attacking that, like, like I'm evil. Like I'm dishonest. Like things people have said to me as a child that I still somehow believe. If you knew me, you really wouldn't like me. Like just
Mm.
all these things that are holding me back inside myself. Like maybe nobody said them to me for 50 years, dude, but
Yeah.
they're still echoing there and I just want
Yeah.
to clean out that baggage. I like how you called it shadow work there. That was,
Yeah,
it really is, because it's like not letting that shit hide in the shadows of our life anymore.
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
you shine light into those corners. There's
Yeah.
nowhere for it to hide. And then
Yeah.
you know what I mean. And sometimes we're forcing, and that's the thing. Like I say, right? My trip is this is an self exploration experience, right?
Yeah.
Like so it's hard sometimes because we and like doing that step four, man, and looking at that stuff and digging stuff up and remembering shit that we don't want to remember,
Oh,
but
yeah.
finding the root cause for those things. That's that's where we find the freedom of it because then we realize what they are. We don't have to rely on those defects anymore, right? And that's okay. So moving on, right? Step seven is humbly asking to remove our defects character.
Yeah.
Like so, with for me, I think that, and this is off topic a little bit, but um, it's not so much about removing them forever, but it's me living a life where I don't have to rely on those things. Because another way of calling defects is defense strategies, right? Defense mechanisms.
Yeah.
And that's because a lot of times, like these defects are caused from us being hurt and us and to protect ourselves, right?
Mm.
So teaching myself how to and through the program, not just teaching myself, but through my higher power, through my friends, through the programs, through the fellowships, is so I can live a way that I don't have to rely on those. And I can keep
Mm.
those defects, those defense strategies, I can keep those shelved. I don't
Yeah.
need them. I don't want them, right? And and it and it's when I look at it like so for that way it makes sense to me. Because
Mm.
a lot of these programs is me adapting the program to my recovery, not me changing for the program.
Yeah.
I don't live for the program. That program lives for me, right? And that's I'm
Mm.
self-centered by nature. I'm a Leo, man. It comes
Yeah.
naturally. But that's what I do, man. And I make it work for me,
Mm.
right? And that's not bending it so I can have cheats and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Not at all. But it's so that it makes sense to me, right?
Yeah.
So and because some of these character defects they're never gonna leave because they were, you know what I mean? But we don't have to rely on them. That's how
Well,
I feel. This is my personal thing.
and I mean, one of the best descriptions of our defects is in the AA book, the 12 steps and 12 traditions. And it basically says that all our defects are our instinctual drives gone wild. you know like
Mm.
like having a
Well,
reaction of sadness to something, that's okay. But if
yeah,
you like take that sadness and you just like throw yourself into a depression or
yeah,
using
yeah,
substances, and it's okay to be angry at something. It's just
yeah,
maybe not okay to kill somebody over it, or
yeah,
or use over it. Like,
yeah.
we have created a situation. Like, what I found from doing my step four was, I am causing all my pain. Like, and then what I've learned kind of since then from Michael Singer right now actually is that it's all that pain is caused by preference. Like, the lack of like surrendering is removing
Mhm.
preference from a moment. Like, it's actually just like letting go of the rope of how I want things to be, and so for me, it's like, I I'm not the puppeteer of everything, and I really was trying to be. Like, I really saw how I was, and
The control, right?
yeah, like
Yeah,
I would be nice to you and seem real generous to you, but then there's going to come a day where I'm like wanting to call that card, Yosef. Man, I need
yeah,
you now, bro. Come on.
yeah,
And it's like
yeah.
that, like it was people pleasing and manipulating, and
Oh, yeah. Huge.
and what I'm trying to do now is just like, one of the concepts is to enter into a moment. Whoops. To enter into a moment where, should have had that shut off, where you look at the moment and you're like, how can I honor and respect this moment? Like, honor it by serving it, and then respect it by treating it like it's the cherished thing it should be. Because to
Mhm.
somebody without a life, what would they give to have this moment? Even if I'm considering it
Mm.
bad, right? You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
And so for me, it's like that step seven is
Yeah.
is literally, asking for help on your surrender.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can dig that. I can dig
Yeah.
that.
And it's
Yeah.
just like, help me let this go.
You
Because
you
this,
just said something. I just want to
yeah,
comment on something you said
yeah.
quick. Like what and yeah, you're right, man, because like our like my worst day is actually would be somebody's fucking absolute best day. You know
Mm,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like look where I live. I live in a beautiful desert. I have a
yeah,
beautiful home. Like I have so much
yeah,
beautiful things. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
and so like my worst day would be somebody's best day. You know what I mean? Like and I can dig what you're saying about the like, man, I relate so much. When I'm in active addiction, okay, listen. When I'm
yeah.
in active addiction, I'm a manipulator. I'm a
Oh, yeah.
user. I'm a liar. I'm a cheater. Like oh my God, yo, I destroyed my marriage. I was married for 25 years. Beautiful woman. And I fucking burnt it to the ground, yo. Burned it to the ground. And that was addiction, 100%. Not just my addiction to drugs and alcohol, but addiction to,
Yeah.
other things. And I destroyed it. And I ruined someone's life. I broke her heart. That beautiful, kind woman. I broke her heart. So the great thing about this and the great thing about step seven and removing those things or shelving those things is I don't have to do that. I don't have
Yeah.
to live like that anymore. I don't,
That's
and
right.
I can cherish, right? Like what you're just saying, man, I cherish what it is right now. This experience right now, for instance, what I'm doing with Milan right now,
Yeah.
doing this show. Wow, man, what a gift. Holy, like
Yeah.
that's fun, right?
Yeah.
Like I get to have
I'm
that
having a
fun,
blast,
man.
dude.
Yeah, man, a lot of fun, man.
I'm right here, right now, and I'm
Yeah,
loving it.
that's what I'm saying, right? And that's what's beautiful because of the work that we're doing on ourselves, we can be stoked for right now, this
Yeah.
moment, right? It's because listen, it's not just a day at a time program; it's a moment at a time program too, right? Like that's the
Yeah.
program. My recovery is finding joy in those little things. We can do that now. I have that gift, right?
Yeah.
And what a gift it is. So I was gonna take. Can I tell you a quick story?
Yeah.
All right,
Absolutely.
cool. So I was kind of telling you before the show. So my whole life recovery. I'm working, right? All the time. I'm working on my recovery, not just from drug and alcohols, but like from my accident, right? It takes
Yeah.
up a lot of my time. I'm always at physio, whatever.
Mm.
I'm always doing shit, right? I got ADD, I got OCD, fucking HDMI. I'm everything, right? Shake it all together, right? So that's what I call it. Just like I'm glitching, HDMI. Sometimes I get so much energy, I'm just like, oh, what the fuck? Anyway, so I decided to take a day off from everything. I wasn't going to go to a meeting, nothing. And I did. So last Friday, blah, blah, what day is it today? What day is it? Tuesday,
Today's
Monday.
Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday. So on Saturday, so I got a mobility scooter. ICBC bought me. It's pretty sweet, independent suspension, right? So I can get around without driving. Because I used to walk a lot, right? I used to walk all over town. I can't do that now. I got a cane, right? So I went to the beach, and for the first time since my accident, actually the first time, so my accident was 3 years ago. The first time in 4 or 5 years, I went to our lake here in the Soyuz. Went into
Whoa.
the lake, man. Wow, what a gift! And then I just laid out, and I was just like everybody else, kind of. You know what I mean? It kind of felt like I was hiding, like I'm incognito in front of all these normies. But maybe they're not even normies. Who knows what they're? I don't know what's going on. I didn't talk to anybody. Like I don't like talking to people. I don't like talking to strangers, right? But it was just such a beautiful experience, just like going in the lake. And I wiped out. I fell because I'm half a cripple. I got my cane, but I hit the water, so it didn't even hurt. It
Yeah.
was just awesome, man. Like it just felt so good. And I was laying there, and I got so happy, I cried. I was so happy. I just laid there on
Wow.
my towel and I cried because I was just like, thank you, universe. Thank you
Yeah.
for this beautiful gift, man. To be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So amazing, man. And it's funny that and I thought like I gotta tell Milan about this. Like he's
Yeah.
gonna dig it, right?
Oh,
Like
I love it.
I was burning up.
He had recovered fever.
I'm burning up. Right.
But
That's what I was thinking about. So I just wanted to tell you that story, like how good that felt, just to So take it
Since I've
there.
been down to
So,
that conference in Vancouver, like back to ground zero, where the place I died at the same time of day that I died, 21 months and 4 days later.
oh wow.
Like, so did I? You haven't heard this story?
No, no.
Okay, so like it was September 30th. I was at a conference. I was at the Fairmont Hotel, not the one by the water, but the one up the hill. I knew this
Okay.
conference was in the Vancouver Convention Center, and I knew it had some in the Fairmont Pacific, which is the one down there. So my daughter and I had gone to the first day, registered, went to this block party thing, came home. I was so tired, I fell asleep with my clothes on and the lights on. Like I was beat. We had been going all day. But we had made plans. I said, I want to go to the marathon meetings at night. I said, if I get up, I'm out of here. And we made plans to meet there. No hard feelings on either side. Like I didn't want her to come. She didn't want to go. And I didn't want to wait for her later.
Yeah.
And so I get up 1:23. I get down to the Pacific Rim Hotel 1:50 a.m. I go walk in. I'm like, nothing going on. The guy's like, go to the other building. He's like, it's at the other Fairmont. And so now I'm like, oh. And I'm walking up Burrard, and I could see the window of the room, dude, where I died it. Like, and I'm like, now
Oh,
I'm like goosebumping, but I'm
yeah.
almost like shaking. By the time I walk in the door to the hotel, I'm like pretty much almost in tears and shaking. And like, I had a lot of feelings that I didn't know were there anymore. And
Right.
I walk into the meeting room, and it's like made for 1,500 people. There's like 35 people in it. I kind of go to the center because I like to see people's faces because it's a
Yeah.
podium meeting. And before I even get my ass down in the seat, he's like, "You come up and share." And so
Oh wow.
I got up, and it was really cool because the people at the all night meetings, they're from all over the world, and it's like a different time zone for them, and that's why they're up.
Mm,
So it was, but anyway, I get up and I really kind of talk about how what happened to me there, 21 months and 3 days ago, and how it was a turning point in my life, and how like I didn't like I thought it was like tragic, me dying in a hotel, and now I see it
yeah.
as one of the greatest gifts of a turning point in my life ever. And
Yeah.
and I mean, I'm up there and I'm bawling in front of them and everything. Like I needed to release, but ever since then, man, it's like my emotional circuit is on. Like I've had like 5 times where I've just cried from the beauty around me. Like
Wow.
somebody
Yeah.
tells me something and I'm just like I'm crying. I'm like barely able to get a sentence out. Like where like the scar of going back and ripping that off and confronting what I was and what really happened instead of
Yeah.
it just being like, oh yeah, I was partying, this happened. But to go back there, you
Yeah.
know, it was like it just
With a
opens it.
sober mind, right? With a sober mind and a sober heart to see that, because
But
you could
just
be
to
an
be like,
person, go back there and be like, "Yeah, dude, that was harsh. Woo, close call,"
yeah,
and it would be funny.
yeah,
Now you go back there with a sober heart, a sober mind, and you're like, "God damn,
thank you
I
so
died."
much for that happening. Like my
Yeah.
gratitude for that
Yeah.
pivotal moment and where I'm at now, like
Yeah.
I never want to go back there. I don't ever want to go back there. And it just showed me like because I'm like stepping in the doorway and I'm like literally going, the party was in the same room as that meeting in the hotel. Like that was the
Wow.
last party that I was at. Like
Yeah.
and it was just like walking in there and I'm just like, wow, I am like fucking 5 Star Trek trips away from that moment.
Yeah.
Like I am so not that guy anymore.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, I got down and I was talking to a few people because the meeting ended shortly after and they have 15 minutes between the meetings. And this guy who, he's maybe in his 40s or whatever, comes up to me and he was just like crying. He's like, dude, he's like, I've been straight 3 weeks. He's like, someone gave me the ticket to this. He's like, maybe this is my
Wow.
turning point. It was so amazing,
Juicy.
man. Yeah,
Juicy.
it was
Juicy.
amazing, man.
Yeah.
Like I just felt like, like it just shows that you never know how sharing your moment or your story is exactly what someone needs. Like we like catering a share to what you think is a good share
Mm.
is not just being a conduit for the universe.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it's like
Exactly.
kind of like having your good idea and then erasing it and just starting to talk. You know,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. 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 The neat thing, so I was just reflecting on the things you were saying, right? When I was thinking about you going back to that place where you almost died, right? And
Yeah.
it's something that I do every time when I'm on my way to Kelowna, say, right? Like, so my exit was just this side of Summerland, right? So
Okay. Like
every
Trout
time I
Creek
go past,
area?
what's that? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Actually, no. Like just like the last lights at Summerland,
Okay.
like coming to Penticton,
Yeah.
just around the corner. Anyway, so similar, like I go past that spot, and when I'd go past that spot and in active addiction, it's the same thing. It's like, oh yeah, fuck, that was a close one. Now that I'm able to feel things again, because
Yeah.
that's another gift of recovery, right? That a lot of people don't think about is we actually feel things now.
Like real
The
deep.
good things, but deep, and the bad things too, though we
Yeah.
feel, man.
Yeah.
And I drive past that spot now, and I shake because it's
Yeah.
like my body knows, like the trauma experience
Yeah.
at that spot.
Yeah.
Insane. Like my femur went through my pelvis. It shattered my
Yeah.
pelvis, six pieces. Like it was
Mm.
devastating. Organs ripped open. Like it's a miracle that I lived long enough to get into the ambulance. It's a miracle I lived through the night. It's a miracle. Like I spent 3.5 months in the hospital, right? And the whole time loaded, right? And it's like, woo, close call. There's videos of me. I took videos to send to my bro, Toddy on the coast. And I'm like, this is my home for 2 weeks. Like I was so fucking oblivious to what was going on and how life changing that event was. Everything
Yeah.
stopped. May 17th, 2022, my life stopped. I was going full throttle. My life was insane. Like I was a wild man, and everything, boom, stopped in a second. Anyway, so but the now like being able to feel things again, man,
Mm.
what a gift. And that's what it was on the beach that day a couple days ago. And
Mm.
it hit me, and like just how and just how the water felt, how that grass felt, you know. But not only that, but just feeling emotions again.
Yeah.
Wow, man, what a trip! What a beautiful, like life. Here's the trip. I'm high on life. Like
Yeah.
life is cool, man. I've only been alive for a little bit. I spent 35 years, loaded
Yeah.
daily. It was something I could not. So I suppressed my feelings and emotions, and still went through life though. Like
Yeah.
I had jobs, I had mortgages, I got married, I got divorced, I sold homes, I still like lived
Yeah.
somehow. I don't
Mm.
know fucking how, bro. So like how
Yeah.
the hell did I make it through like all those
Yeah.
years and still make out pretty good? Like, I've
Yeah.
done well for myself somehow, you know, until I wasn't, until
Yeah.
I was doing good. I was what do they call it? I was a functioning addict until I wasn't. Right?
Yeah.
This is a progressive disease, man, and lights are on, but nobody's home. Right? Just going on autopilot. But now being able to feel things. Wow, what a gift, man! And that's a huge thing that I'm grateful for sure. Is yeah.
I feel really grateful that we met and we're recovery brothers, dude.
Oh
I really enjoy our brotherhood. Every time I see you, I'm stoked.
yeah,
We literally have wonderful times in the meetings together. We laugh like,
yeah.
dude,
We laugh.
I laugh my oh my god, my daughter was like elbowing me like, stop laughing so hard during his share last night.
Oh yeah, I know. I go full like R word. Like I don't even. That's yeah. I don't even know what I say. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like it was like that share was crazy. I'm like, was it? I don't remember. Like
yeah,
I just start and then like yeah,
it
and then
was great. I loved it.
usually if I see people, because sometimes I know I say things that like I say things I shouldn't. Okay,
Oh,
I get that, and
I
I don't
definitely
mean
think
to.
it's like testing the edge of the balloon of some other people's like, morality. And I'm just like, yeah, baby.
Yeah, yeah, I'll say things. Yeah, I will say things like if I think like, oh, somebody you're a little too cocky, I'm gonna say something to piss you off or something. But I don't really mean to because I'll start on something and then I just fuck, who knows, right?
It's
Like I said, I'm
amazing.
HDMI. When my HDMI kicks off,
Yeah.
whoo, Yeah.
There you go. Your HTMI. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question here.
All right.
The fourth step is not about blame, it's about responsibility. We stop pointing fingers and start owning our part. What did you learn about your patterns that surprised you the most?
Okay. Um, okay, I guess what surprised me the most, was that like I kept doing the same thing. I kept repeating the same thing. Like
Yeah.
and I didn't realize it at the time, right?
Hmm.
Like and also what surprised me was I'm the common denominator in all these
Yeah.
things. If I wouldn't have done this, this wouldn't have happened to me. If I didn't
Yeah.
put myself in this situation, that wouldn't happen to me. What's come to me? So what surprised me the most was that I just kept doing the same. I kept repeating the same mistakes over and over and over again. Kept doing the same thing, expecting a different result. Right? Isn't that
Mm.
the definition of insanity? Is
Yeah.
we do the same thing over and over, get the
Yeah.
same result, but hope we're going to get a different result. So that's what surprised me, I guess, the most was just that I kept making the same fucking mistakes. Yeah.
And for me, what did I learn about my patterns that surprised me the most? First of all, that it was my fault. Like that I was the fault of my
Ooh,
of my discomfort. Like I was
okay.
certain it was other people. And then,
Exactly. Yeah.
and then the second thing was the level of my delusions about it. Like I really had myself fooled that it was like it was you and I deserved this and how come you can't and should would like all the things like
Yeah.
deserve should this and that like man
Yeah.
I don't deserve shit after how I treated people. Like who's kidding who? Like, but
Right?
but my
Yeah.
pattern was for sure externalizing the blame on any of my
Mhm.
discomfort. Like it was and when I did it, like I said earlier, like I can never unsee it. And so
Yeah.
now like some of my friends call me step 10 Starcic because man I'm saying sorry sometimes on the podcast to somebody for something I'm making amends for that we talked about at the start of the podcast because I can't help but see
Yeah.
now when it's behavior that is like that and
Beautiful.
i
That's
i,
beautiful.
I really don't want that to define me.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be that. Like there was a one of the speakers at that conference. I really loved what he said. He said, I don't care about your feelings; they change. He's like, I care about what you do because that's reality. Like
Mm.
what you've done or what you're doing is like you can have whatever thoughts inside your head, but what we learn is that we don't have to act on those thoughts. You know,
Yeah.
like my first sponsor always said to me, he said, your feelings are 100% real. The facts they're based upon might not be.
Ooh.
Yeah. And
Ooh.
that one stuck with me.
Yeah, let me write that shit down. Yeah, that's good. Say that again.
Okay. The feelings you have are 100% real. The
Yeah.
facts they are based upon might not be.
Oh, wow, what a trip. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
and I just think back, to like doing my step 4 and like how many times, those feelings were based on false facts. Like
Yeah.
the fact that I deserve this kind of treatment from you, the fact that
Yeah.
you owe me this because I did that, the
Or you
fact that
did something based on something that wasn't even real.
I'm mad at you because of you. My feelings are here because of you, but my
Yeah.
feelings are here because I can't control my reactions.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of the biggest eye opener. And to be honest,
Yeah.
I'm just glad that I didn't die not knowing that. Like if I feel like
Yeah.
like I feel like if I had died that night and I had just lived that life of bitter
I'm
indifference,
thinking that's how it was. That
yeah,
that's all that there was.
that's
Yeah.
right. Like
But see,
I
you're the
I've
lucky one.
I've experienced so much more freedom in the last 21 and a half months that it's just like, like I'm just so grateful for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I got another question. You ready?
Okay, I am ready.
Okay. Step 5 is where our secrets lose their power. When spoken aloud, shame begins to dissolve. What was it like to say things out loud that you had kept in the dark for so long?
Yeah. Listen, okay. Yeah, there were some things that were incredibly hard to talk about. Um, because and I'm still working through a lot of shame and guilt,
Mm,
right?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's not something like it doesn't just go away because you do a step five,
no,
right? The step five is the start.
yeah,
Okay. I feel like the step five is the start of the process. Now I've said it out loud, right? Relief, yeah, there was some relief there because when you say it out loud, it loses its power, right? But it doesn't mean it's lost all of its power. I still got to do the work, and I'm still working through a lot of shame and guilt that I've had for not just things I've done to people, but things that were done to me, right? I was raped when I was younger, and that's I can say that right now. I can say that, and the more I say that, the less power it has over me. But it
yeah,
doesn't mean that what was done to me doesn't fuck with me still, right? I'm still
yeah,
working through it. And maybe that's something that I work through till the day I die. That could be, right? And that's okay because today I'm better with it than I was yesterday or the day before, right? Because I'm
yeah,
continually working through it, right? And that's the beautiful thing about, and step five has a big part to do with that because like that was something that I'd only talked about with my therapist.
yeah,
Right? So then working with through a step five and saying it to my sponsor, like I just said it out loud on the fucking thing, right?
yeah.
And I could do that now. I could talk about that
Hmm.
to some degree. There's
Yeah.
something, you know what I mean. I'm still, but yeah. So step five definitely there's a freedom there, and yeah. I don't even remember the question. I don't
What
know what
was
my
it
answer.
like to say things out loud you had kept in the dark for so long?
Oh right, yeah. So yeah, hard, difficult, right?
Yeah,
Some things were really difficult, right? Especially, yeah, I think it was harder, yeah, definitely harder to say the things that I had done to other people, right? Because then you're sitting there and like if it were somebody else, if somebody, you know what I mean? I'd be like, fuck, that's a piece of shit move. Like that's a shit that was shitty, right?
yeah,
Like so and then but it's me saying it, right?
yeah,
So it was hard because it makes you look at made me look at like really the person I was, right? Because that's who I was, not who I am. That's not who I
yeah,
am today, right?
yeah,
So then and also though, but then in realizing that that was the only way that I could do a step five, right?
yeah,
Is to realize that's not who I am. That's
yeah,
not who I am today. So, you know, um that whatever I coveted or whatever,
mm,
right? That's not what I would do today.
yeah.
It's what I did, right? So yeah, so that made it doable.
I remember when I was in treatment, them saying, and because they could see, like, I was carrying a lot of guilt and shame, right? And them saying, like, who you were in your addiction and, was your disease. And you are not your disease. You may
Mhm.
have your disease, but you are
Yeah,
not your disease.
that's right.
And then it doesn't absolve you of everything,
No,
but
it doesn't mean
but it
you
allows
still
you
take
it allows
responsibility.
you to see that when you're straight, you can be somebody different.
Well, you are somebody different when
Yeah,
you're sober. You
yeah,
are. Like
exactly.
here's the thing. I don't even want to be around. I don't want to be around normies. I don't want to be around anyone who's on the program for a couple of reasons, right? Not because it's triggering to me. For one, they annoy me. I'm sorry, normies, whatever. And it's not that this is a fault. No,
Yeah,
but we do the work, right? We
yeah,
work on ourselves, right? Like I don't know. I can't like you be around someone and they have one drink,
yeah,
they start to change.
yeah,
Okay, and who they are is being foreshadowed by this alcohol. Then they have another drink. By three drinks, they're a completely fucking different person.
yeah,
Completely different. And like you're gonna get in a car and drive. Like, are you fucking crazy, man? Like you're not even the same person. You're not
yeah,
you, right?
yeah,
That's why I always say I have no business talking to normies. I got no business. I don't want to talk to normies. Except family's different, right?
yeah,
Like my mama and my grandma, my aunties, like my whole family are women, right? I was raised by women. I was raised by nine women. I never had a father. Um, a fodder was that my East Coast just came out. What? East Coast comes out sometimes. Yeah. So, but like none of them drink, right? Because my grandfather was a very very bad alcoholic. So none of the girls drink, right? So they're normies, but that's different. That's my family. But
yeah,
like people outside of my family, normies, Whatever. What am I going to talk to you about? We got nothing
I
in
find
common.
it difficult to restrict what I'm talking about to a shallower depth.
Yes, right.
Like I'm like,
That's a nice way of saying that they're not as smart as us.
well, it's just that
Because most things I'm
they
like,
don't want to really confront shit. Like I want to talk about something that I just realized about my inner self in the morning, and guess what? Most guys aren't really like, let's go deep on
no,
feelings. Let's go deep
yeah,
on feelings.
yeah. No, you're right, and that's exactly why, right?
Yeah.
That's why, like, okay, so I got a buddy or whatever at the gym, right? And he's a normie, whatever. He smokes some weed once in a while. Let's hang out, right?
Yeah.
And like, no, like, you know what I mean? Like, this is cool. We can chat at the gym, but what are we gonna do if we hang out? What do you
Yeah.
go for coffee? Fuck off. Like, I don't do that,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
that's not something I do. I go, you know, yeah.
I do
I'm not a
things.
social person. I'm not a socialite, right?
Yeah.
I'm just not, right?
Yeah.
I go to the gym. I go to meetings. I work my program, and
Yeah.
that's what's keeping me alive, you know.
Yeah.
Because a drug addict of my caliber, that's what I need to do.
Yeah.
That's just the truth of the matter. You know what I mean? And I'm upset because I introduced myself like Yosef. I am a drug addict. I don't just say I'm an addict because it wasn't my. I have a lot of addictions, yeah, but it was my. It's not my Pyrex collection. My
Yeah.
addiction to collecting vintage Pyrex that brought me into the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous
Yeah.
and right. It was my drug abuse. That
Yeah.
you know what I mean. I'm a drug addict to
Yeah.
my core, and that's what I am. And I can say that now, and I'm not. I'm not embarrassed by it. I'm not ashamed of it.
I
I'm not
wear my
ashamed of it.
sobriety like a fucking badge of honor, dude,
Yeah,
because
me
you know
too,
what?
man.
I know a lot of people like
Yeah.
I wasn't hanging out with the echelon of society at the end. And I've honestly had some of
Totally.
them call me and ask me
Yeah.
for help. And you know what? I want
Beautiful.
people to know that there is a change possible
Oh,
because
yeah.
I
No,
didn't
there's a
know.
solution. There's
Yeah,
a solution.
there
There
is a
is.
solution. Yeah, and like, man, any of those guys that know me, they
Yeah.
know by taking one look at me. Like my daughter and my wife are like, "Oh, you're really tanned now." If you look at my pictures from 22 months ago to the last 15 years, I was green and gray. I was
Yeah.
green and gray the whole time. And
Yeah.
they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're so tan now." I'm like, "No, I'm just not dying right now."
Yeah. I'm just living. This is what
like
color my
I
skin is supposed to be.
like this is the
Yeah.
color it was my whole childhood, you know?
Yeah. 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 I'm the same way. Like, I'm actually olive skin. I have
Yeah.
olive skin. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not white or pale or pasty.
green
This is
like a dying
yeah.
liver. Like,
Totally, man.
yeah, yeah,
When I rolled into treatment, I was one day, I'm gonna try to find the picture because they take a picture of you on intake
yeah,
or whatever. I'll
yeah.
try to find it and show it to you, man. You'll trip out. Um, yeah, I don't remember what I was gonna say. Whatever. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just okay. The fourth step shows us the roots, but the fifth step helps us to begin to pull them out. What root causes behind your behavior are you beginning to recognize?
You read that again, please.
Sure. The fourth step shows us the roots. The fifth step helps us begin to pull them out. What root causes behind your behavior are you beginning to recognize?
Okay, listen. Fear. Okay, fear. Fear is such a root cause for so many things. So many of things I did to other people was out of fear of trying to protect myself or feeling inadequate, right? Um, and the fear of not being enough, say, or the fear of getting hurt, right? So I would hurt someone so they couldn't hurt me first. You know what I mean? And I destroyed friendships. Oh man, like I just listen when when I'm in active addiction, I'm not a good person.
Yep.
I'm not a good friend. You don't want to be my friend, because I will take from you. I will use you. I'll manipulate you. I will, you know what I mean? And the root of so much of it was fear.
Mhm.
Was fear. Yeah. Yeah.
They say it's kind of all based on fear of not getting what we want or fear of losing what we have. Like
Sure.
that, those 2 points. And, for myself, what root causes behind my behavior uh, am I beginning to recognize? Well, I, the very first was like what I said before, is that I easily cast blame. Like I casted blame, and then consequently, by the end, that made me a victim.
Mm.
But what happened for me in the last like 6 months of my using, like I feel like it just kind of like crescendoed to a point where I was experiencing massive anxiety. Like, I think that my body system just was so far gone from sleep and rest and a
Yeah.
steady diet, and just like integral nutrients to have a balance. Like, like I've just really seen the value of sleep now. But
Oh,
near the end, it was like I was catastrophizing everything before it happened. And then I was like living in the past of victimhood, and and
yeah.
and doing my
And so
step.
you were bringing that onto yourself. You know what I mean? Because here's the
Yeah,
thing, right? Here's okay. Magic is real. That's just the way it is, right? I believe in nature's law of attraction, right?
yeah.
So if you're catastrophizing, catastrophize.
The
Is that the right word?
catastrophizing. Yep.
It's such a weird word. Um, so if and that's all you're thinking about, that's all you're doing.
Yeah.
Well, of course, that's what you're going to attract, right? You're going to attract
Yeah.
that. If you're putting out negative, you're going to bring in negative, right? Because here's the
Yeah.
thing: the universe, in a sense, the universe doesn't care. The universe is like, oh, you want negative. That's why you're putting
Mm.
out negative. Here's more negative, right? But if you put out positive, if you
Yeah.
live a positive life, you can't help but get positivity because you even look at things differently, right? You don't
Mm.
look at the like, oh, that happened to me. You say, oh, that why is this happening for me?
That's right.
Right? Right? So you bring that. So when you catastrophize and you put out that negative, you are actually bringing it in on yourself. That's also why it's so important, sidebar. That's why it's so important that we don't do that negative self-talk, man. Because our subconscious that you might say, oh man, I'm such a dummy.
Yeah.
Okay, our subconscious doesn't know that we're being sarcastic or funny or whatever, the self-deprecating humor. And that's a huge character defect that I have. I do it all the time, and I'm trying to work on it because our subconscious just hears that and then
Yeah.
starts to believe it, and then it becomes part of who we are, right? And that's also a defense mechanism because maybe like oh, you're smarter than me, so don't hurt me or something. I don't know. But I mean, it's so important that we live positive, that we put out positive so that we can accept positivity in return, right? People say you can't it's been said that you can't love until you love yourself. I don't think that's right. What I think is you can't, your body literally, and your soul, your essence literally cannot accept love unless you are able to put out love and be open to love.
Mm.
So if you love, we tell each other all the time, I love you, bro. I love
Yeah.
you. You are like, you're the king of I love you, right?
Yeah.
You're like, you just scream it out at people. I love you. And that's beautiful because then what that does is open that gateway for people to bring in so you can accept love,
Mm.
right? So like that's my trip, man. And I believe that. I believe that in my core that you, without being positive, you
Yeah.
cannot accept positive things will not come to you.
And a person that I've had a great learning experience with about it is Laura and her gratitude
Oh,
for the lessons in life. Like
oh
she
man,
is the mistress of that. Like
I
absolutely.
love that woman. I love that
Oh,
woman
yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
She is such an amazing woman. Like the wisdom in that,
Yeah.
she's been on your show, right? The
Yeah.
wisdom that young lady has is
Yeah.
it's incredible. Yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah.
like,
I've
but
learned
it's
so much
taught me a
from her.
lot, and it's really changed the way I pray entirely,
Yeah,
because I'm
beautiful.
praying gratitude for all my struggles too,
Yeah,
because for the lessons that will be revealed.
yeah. Here's something that she taught me that's massive as well. We're just gonna big up Laura for a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, that I'm actually grateful now for my accident.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for the disability that it gave me, and not
Yeah.
just because I get good parking, but like I'm grateful because if that didn't happen to me, if my life didn't stop
Yeah.
so suddenly like that,
Yep.
and that I was forced to live through it, and then I was forced to live through that addiction, none of this life I have now would not have happened. I would have
Exactly.
just died in active addiction.
Yeah.
I would have died from this disease without even knowing I had the fucking disease.
Yeah.
You dig? Yeah. So that's something she taught me, and now I am. I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for the reminder. Like I live with chronic pain. It's
Yeah.
just the way it is. The right side of my pelvis was completely shattered. So right away I'm arthritic. I don't take any pain. I don't take any pain things for it. I
Yeah.
take some anti-inflammatory stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but then because without it, I just can't get through the day. But it's in no way a pain blocker, right? I take
Yeah.
some nerve blockers too, right? But like no opioid stuff, no oxys, no perks, no nothing like this for pain, nothing. So I have a daily reminder that I am organic. Okay. When
Yeah.
you hit the cement going 70, right? You realize how organic we are, right? we are
Yeah.
we are from this earth, and I say to myself every day, thank you creator, thank you goddess, thank you whatever you want to call it, thank you for the reminder that I am part of the earth, and I revere that. I'm grateful for that reminder that I am organic, because then
Mhm.
I am, oh man, I'm part of this. I am
Yeah.
part of this life force that this entire planet is, because that's my higher power. My higher power is this planet. And I'm not saying like I'm some tree hugger, but I do hug trees. I admit it. I hug trees. I love
Oh,
trees.
I'm a
I
tree
have tree
hugger.
friends.
I'm big
Remember one
time.
time you asked my gratitude list, you're like, what tree friend? New tree friends. It's just new
Yeah.
trees that I found that
Yeah.
I've hugged and hung out with. And I talk to them. And you know what? I'm a fucking weirdo. They talk to me back. You know,
Yeah.
when you sit in silence and you touch and you ground yourself, that's why I go into the forest every day and I sit there. I sit naked in the woods, and it sounds weird, but fucking I don't care, man. And I ground myself, right? And I'm
Mm.
grounded. And I pull in the love from Mother Nature, from our earth, right? And it passes through me, you know? And that's a beautiful thing. So without that accident happening, I would have never experienced that. I wouldn't have that joy in my
Mm.
life, in my heart, and
Yeah.
be open to love now. Because I wasn't open to love before. I was
Yeah.
only open to negativity, because, like you, everything was somebody else's fault.
Yeah.
Everything was happening to me. That person, I did that to them because they did this.
Yeah.
It's
It
their
was
fault.
justified reciprocation.
I justified everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
I justified everything. Which my addiction loved. My addiction loved that shit. My
Yeah.
addiction wants me to be a victim.
Yeah.
You know, because my
Yeah.
addiction, because I personify my addiction. It's got a face. It looks just like me. And that asshole right now is in my backyard doing push-ups,
Yeah.
waiting for me to, maybe something will trigger him during this podcast, and I get in there and fucking he's gonna smoke some crack. You know what I mean? Like I have to stay vigilant.
Yeah.
I'm going off on topic a bit, sorry. But Laura taught me to be grateful,
Yeah.
for the lessons learned.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I really am grateful that she is in my life and one of my recovery sisters. And
Yeah.
you know, like every time she shows up on Thursday, I'm stoked. You
Oh,
know?
me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we carpool a lot and stuff. I see her at meetings all the time. We spend time together. She's taught me so much. She is one of my biggest teachers for
Yeah.
sure. Everyone in this program, right, is a teacher.
Yeah.
Some I learn things that I learn what I don't want for my recovery, right?
Yeah.
Some of the
Absolutely.
lessons aren't positive lessons, but
Yeah.
they teach me that that's not what I want. There's a guy, I'm not going to say names because anonymity, but he's got a lot of sobriety time, and he's miserable.
Yeah.
He's miserable. I do not want to live that way. I
No.
do not want that. No,
No.
sir. That to me,
Clean
that's
time doesn't equal recovery.
nope, nope. It doesn't. It doesn't. It
Clean
just That's
time.
why I say 30 days or 30 years, it doesn't fucking make a difference.
Yeah.
It's today. It's
Yeah.
how you live today, you
Yeah.
know? And that in itself is okay. Because if I think like I can't, okay, there was a time when I would think I can't smoke crack for the rest of my life. I can't think like that. Okay, but I just for today I won't, right? And that got me through lot of days, right? Now I don't think about it. Like that
Yep.
last relapse, it 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 fixed me of that. I really
It
uh
dispelled the illusion.
dispelled the illusion. Now don't get it twisted though. I'm not fucking resting on my laurels.
No.
I'm not saying that it's, you know what I mean, because I know how easy I have to stay vigilant. I
Yeah.
have to. I have to do the work. But if I do the work, I can have a reprieve, right?
Yeah.
I can have
That's
I
the
can
thing
have a
about it.
day. Yeah.
Like I realize this program's just for today, but if I do today what I did yesterday, there's a
Lord.
pretty good chance I'm straight till tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah, like it's now, like I actually have faith in my program.
Yes.
Like it's now worked for close to 700 days. Like there's a good chance 701 is gonna come
Oh,
up. You know,
that's beautiful. That is
yeah.
beautiful.
And
Yeah.
and and I don't think that's resting on my laurels or being complacent, because I'm not stopping my program. I'm
Yeah.
more willing now than ever. I mean, man, I do this podcast, I go to meetings, I have sponsees, I have my sponsor. Like
Yeah.
I'm like learning a new way to pray right now independently. Like I am not sitting around pretending that this
Yeah.
isn't life or death for me, because it
Yeah.
is.
No, that's exactly it. Yeah, because it is. Because
Yeah,
it is, right?
it
It is.
literally
That's the
was.
truth.
It literally was. And
Yeah.
I feel like the day that my heart stopped and it started again, it now beats in a
Mhm.
different direction forever.
I
You
like
know?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
Okay, I got a question for you here.
All right.
The fourth and fifth steps strip away illusion, not to leave us exposed, but to reveal our truest self. What truth about yourself are you starting to accept with more compassion?
Okay. Listen. Okay. So that's everyone in my family does that. Listen. that's
Yeah.
that's just like a
I'm still
fucking thing.
listening.
Yeah, I know, right? Like obviously you're listening, but I don't know why. It's funny, like when my family gets together, everyone's like, listen, no, listen, listen, listen. Everybody's talking over each other. Maybe that's why we do it. Um, okay, so what was stripped away, whatever shit was stripped away. What I'm an emotional man. I'm a
Yeah.
very sensitive,
Mhm.
emotional man, and that's okay. So
Yeah.
what I accept now is it's okay. Like here's the thing, right? And I had no male role models growing up. I had
Yeah.
only women. And that's also why I tend to gravitate towards women. When I have friendships, it's usually with women because I never really learned how to relate to men. I don't have men friends really, and I have a
Mm.
really big thing with. And I was raped by a man, and so like I have a hard time making uh like connections because I don't have that trust there. Anyway, that was a sidebar. But like so that accepting that I am who I am at my truest core is a sensitive, very sensitive, emotional man. And but sometimes it can be to my detriment because I also I can switch to anger very easily. Okay. And then
Mm.
in my past, I was a very, very violent man, a very
Mm.
violent young man when it came to other men.
Mm.
Women, I would let fucking walk all over me, use me, and I would, or I've been in relationships that were physically abusive, and I
Yep.
stayed. I
Yeah.
stayed. And, but like, but say, okay, for instance, and I'm not whatever, and it hurts me to even say it, but one time I was at a nightclub when I was a young man, and somebody stepped on my new shoes. I punched his teeth out. I was so quick, so it was like so quick, and it's because I had zero control of my emotions,
Mm.
none. I would fly off the handle at the drop of a hat, zero control. So part of working, and it's not just step 4 or 5, but part of working through these steps and learning the self discovery, exploration, whatever you want to call it, is I'm learning how to like take pause and realize like I am an emotional man. That's okay, but I need to take pause. And I'm learning to have a window of tolerance, right?
Mm.
Because my whole life I had a zero window. That window was fucking bolted shut. No window of tolerance at
Yep.
all. I would
Yep.
snap so. I would snap so easily. And it got me in a lot of trouble, not because, with the law, but it also got me in physical trouble. I got my ass fucking beat a lot of times because I would swing on people that were way bigger than me, right? Like and do things and uh and so getting to know who I actually am and accepting it, I'm learning how. I'm obviously I'm always a work in progress, but I'm learning how to have that window and going into situations and realizing, like, okay, for example, I went to buy a new car recently, right? So I snapshowed on three different car salesmen. Now it didn't get violent, but it got yelly, and I get actually
Yeah.
you've seen not one of my finer moments at a meeting, and I
Yep.
and I gave somebody a what for because they were cross talking, and
Yep.
but the old me, I wouldn't have said anything to him. I would have just waited off the meeting and I would have served him up. That's not who I want to be. That's not who I am anymore. So
Yeah.
I still have work to do. That's my cat screaming. I still have work to do, um, but I can recognize now. So going into situations, and then after when I was like, okay, I'm going in a situation where there's going to be car salesmen and they're going to say stupid things. Because one, it was just as simple as, "What's wrong with your leg?" That's all he asked.
Yeah.
Or no, he said, "What's with the cane?" I said, "What's with the fucking cane, eh?" Boom! I fucking snap show. like, like, like I snapped, and
Yeah.
and yeah, and I'm not like a massive man, but I'm not tiny, and I really scared him,
Yeah.
right? And then that made me not feel good. I
Yeah.
didn't feel good about myself because I don't want to scare. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I don't want to be that person anymore.
Yeah.
So it's and through this I don't know how that exactly relates to step 4 or 5 because I don't even remember
Yeah.
the question. I'm HDMI and on my fucking 10th cup of coffee. But
What truth about yourself are you starting to accept with more compassion?
okay, that's just it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
accept that, and I have compassion for myself that I am an emotional person, and
Mm-hmm.
and it's okay. Like I cry all the time. I'll cry if
Mm-hmm.
I'm sad. I'll cry if I'm happy. I'll cry if the dinner was really tasty. Sometimes I just like, oh my god, it's the best thing ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just do, and I accept that now, and that's okay. I'm an emotional person, right? Now, like in the past, I've always been like that. But in the past, if I would get really really upset and emotional, and then punch people.
Yeah.
Like I laugh about it now because that was somebody else. I accept that's who I was,
Yeah.
and I'm not sloughing that off. But it's not who I am now, and so yeah, I get to uh, I get to have some compassion for myself and understand that I was that way because of things that were done to me,
Mm-hmm.
um, and and that's it's not okay, but I accept that was the past,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm learning to, like we said before, man, I was arrested mentally, emotionally at 13 years old. So
Yeah.
now I'm almost 50. I'll be 50 in a couple days. No, I'll be 49 in a couple days. And so that whole time, like I didn't learn how to be a man.
Yeah.
I didn't learn how to be a grown up. I accomplished all those things, adult things, marriage,
Yeah.
mortgages, jobs. I did all those things, but I did it as a 13-year-old boy, right?
Yeah.
I never took anything
Fight or
seriously,
flight,
really.
man. Fight or flight.
Fight or
You get
flight,
shit
man.
done.
Fight or flight. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, what truth about myself am I starting to accept with more compassion? Basically, it kind of runs along the same vein as what you're saying, but it was like before I had awareness that was brought to me through doing these steps, right? Like I was doing things that I had no clue of the emotional consequences for others and how like when I was being hurtful, most of it really wasn't deliberate hurtfulness. Or it was without understanding that it was my reaction that was causing me to be hurtful, not their action,
Mhm.
you know? And so there's a lot of things like, man, I've got some wreckage in my past. Like I was a wife coveter for sure. I would
Yeah,
like, it was not and it was really bad for other people's lives and families.
yeah,
And and there was a lot of guilt carried for that, a lot of guilt, and at least now, I know that I'm not doing that anymore. And I'm
Yeah.
not, like I have compassion because I didn't have awareness.
Yeah.
Right now, it's like with awareness, then if I want forgiveness, I have to
Mhm.
change.
Yes. Yeah.
Like
It's the actions,
sorry,
right?
like when you're doing the amends, you don't say, I'm sorry for this. You say, I was wrong when I did this.
Yeah.
Like there's a big difference because to actually say that your action was wrong is a bigger step than I'm
Mhm.
sorry. Because sorry's like, I might have been wrong. But like, I was wrong. Doesn't mean
Well, and then,
anything, but I am wrong.
yeah, yeah, and especially like as Canadians, we say sorry for everything. It's lost its me. I bump into the fridge door. Oh, sorry. Like what?
my
Why am I
my
saying sorry to the
story's
fridge?
30 years old, dude. Like
Right.
it stopped meaning something when I was 22, I think.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's the actions. It's a
Yeah.
change of behavior. That's what
Yeah.
shows in the story. That's the
Yeah.
living amends, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people on my amends list that they're dead. They're gone.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can. So then, I've heard of people saying you write a letter to them or whatever.
Yeah, I've written some
And
letters.
so, okay, cool, right? I haven't done that yet. That's not
Yeah.
how I've looked at things. But I mean, whatever. I might one day. I don't know. I'm not gonna say
Yeah.
I'm not. But it's the living amends, right? Is changing that behavior. Same thing as you, man. I was a wife coveter. You
Yeah.
know, I lost a really good friend
Yeah.
because I fucked his wife. Like that's a
Yeah.
piece of shit move. I'm sorry, but it is. Now I would
Yeah.
never do that now
Yeah.
because now I know, right? Like what you're saying. Like now I know this man, the system
Yeah.
for you today. I would not do that.
I used to
You know?
hide behind the phrase, I'm a sensationalist. And so if it was feeling good, it was okay.
Oh
But the
man, yeah,
problem was, it was only feeling good for me,
yeah.
you know?
Wow, right? And then yeah, and same thing with me, man. And I didn't even think about the wreckage that it caused. It was because it
Yeah.
wasn't just it's just getting this woman to be to 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 have infidelity to her husband,
Yeah.
but then but then I'm completely out of the picture now. But they
Yeah.
still have to deal with that.
Yeah.
They're still dealing with it, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes they couldn't, and the marriage ended. I've broken up marriages. My God, I destroyed my own 25-year marriage,
Yeah.
right? That's not who I am.
Yeah.
It's not who I am today, right? And now knowing what I know now, yeah, I
Mhm.
can't go. I can't go back to doing it. I can't
Yeah.
because it's not who I am, right? Yeah.
And so, okay. We fear judgment until we learn that vulnerability is the path to connection. How did your fifth step experience impact your sense of belonging?
Okay. So listen. First off, listen. Okay. So I didn't really have fear of being judged by my sponsor.
Mm.
Um, I don't know if you know who my sponsor. You know who my
Yeah.
sponsor is.
Yeah.
Yeah. This man this man has been through it. Okay. And that's kind of why I picked him because we had similar backgrounds, right?
Yeah.
At the time when I asked him to be my sponsor, I was looking at some pretty serious charges. I had two indictables, gang task force up my ass, and with Crown, and they were looking at maximum charge for each one. So I was looking at about 8 years. Um, my sponsor has done quite a bit of time, right? It's not my story to tell, but whatever. So I knew that whatever I tell him that I've done,
Mm.
especially when it came to like illegal things,
Mm.
that that he would meet me with some compassion. And
Okay.
that's exactly what happened. I would tell something, and then he'd be like, "Yeah, dude, check this out." Then he'd tell me his trip, right, of like
Mm.
something very similar, right, and then we could. So I didn't feel judged at all, and I don't know if I could do that with anyone else because we speak the same language, me and that man, right?
Yeah.
We've been through similar things, motorcycle clubs, gangs, blah blah. I don't want to go into it, but
Yeah.
um, so I knew, like, say, because I was thinking, like, if I went and did a step with even a priest or something, right? Because I grew up Roman Catholic, so I've been to confession before.
Mm.
Like that motherfucker, he's gonna judge me for sure. He's gonna judge me. Of
Yeah.
course he is. He's gonna say he
That's
ain't,
how they
but he is.
give out the prayers. They literally judge how
They
bad it was.
literally judge, yeah, and they
Like
give you
they
how many
literally
stars out of 10
quantify it
ratings.
with prayers.
Yeah.
Like I
So
remember going like, man, they're like, how could you do all that in that time? Literally, that was the statement the priest said to me.
yeah,
How could you do all that in that time?
yeah, yeah. Like, how is that possible? Because I'm a wild man. Okay, because I'm a wild man. So
I'm
I knew
7,
that I
man. I'm
wasn't.
7. I got lots of time.
Yeah, totally. But like, so I knew that I wouldn't be judged. So that in itself is I felt the acceptance there, right? I think that was the question. Wasn't that part of the question? Was feeling
Yeah,
acceptance? Yeah.
your sense of belonging. How did it
Your sense
impact
of
your sense of
belonging.
belonging?
Yeah. Yeah. So like, and I do like, and there's certain kind of catchphrases that we use in these rooms, but that
Yeah,
really makes sense, right? And one of them is I've earned this chair, right? I've
yeah,
paid for this chair. And it's like at first I was like, that's kind of cheesy, right? No, I don't think so anymore. That's how I feel. So like I belong where I am. I belong in these
mm,
rooms.
yeah,
I you know and I used to be, you know what, and I hate to say this because it's embarrassing, but I used to be very judgy about other people in the rooms. Be like, the
yeah,
fuck you mean you're here for smoking weed? Like
yeah.
what? I suck dick for crack. Like you know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Like it, but and that's such a fucking horror. So I don't look at that because now, and I would judge them, and I would think you don't belong here. You know what I mean? Or you're too young to be here. You haven't even lived a life yet. Or
yeah.
oh yeah, you got 50 years of recovery. I did the math. So what? You got sober at 16? Like what? You haven't even lived. You know what I mean? I used to be really judgy about
Yeah.
things, and now I don't. Now I don't. Now I just to me, it doesn't matter why you're here. You have the same disease I do. Whatever. And now I look at young people that come in and I'm like, oh, thank God you're here.
Mm,
Thank the universe you're here. You don't have to go through what I went through. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, to see your daughter at meetings, man, that made my heart feel so good.
Yeah.
Yo, not only
Dude.
she is a beautiful young lady, nice job, buddy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think my sister tattoos her or something. I don't know.
I think she has, or
Yeah, they knew
like
each other.
they
They
knew
knew each
each
other
other.
somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. But when I see young people like that, right, I'm just like, yes, man, wicked. Because now you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like you've learned it early. You see that you have the disease. You want to do something about it. You're here doing it. Come on, we accept you, right?
Yeah.
And they belong here, and I belong there. Yeah.
And so, how did my fifth step experience impact my sense of belonging? Well, like for me, I don't know what happened inside doing that step 5, but like I went deep like you, dude. I had 120 pages of shit written out for my
Mhm.
step 4.
Mhm.
And afterwards, I had 36 hours that were the first guilt free period in my whole life,
Wow.
like ever. And I mean, I was literally crying with tears of joy and relief. Like, dude, my
Yeah.
bag of rocks was dropped. You know, when they say
Yeah.
you're carrying the bag of rocks, and it was like a phenomenal feeling of buoyancy for me. But what it allowed me to do for my own sense of belonging is I just don't feel worse than or better than now. Like
Okay.
I always put myself in the worse than category.
Hmm.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I was always like, I mean, dude, I had an uncle who called me the devil and told his children not to hang out with me. Like at the age of
Yeah.
4, how do you think that affects you? Because I
Yeah.
didn't have a dad either. My dad died when I was really young. And so it's like, uncles and neighbors' dads, when they said something to me, dude, it really labeled me.
Oh yeah. Because you wanted a father.
Yeah, like
You
I was
really
just
wanted.
searching for a man to like me,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
instead they would condemn me, you know,
Yeah.
because I was small, hyper, and really smart and a smart ass, like unbelievable. Like, you know, like by the time I was 5, dude, I could out argue any adult, and they hated me for it. Like they hated me for it. Like it was,
Yeah.
it, it was a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting to the end of the time here,
All right.
and I got to make this step work meeting. Is there anything you
Okay.
want to say right at the end before we go?
I just want to say, yeah, let's not get loaded today. We got 24 hours, right? I'm grateful that I'm going to go. I know that I'm grateful that we're both going to bed sober tonight. And thanks. This has been a lot of fun. Let's do it again. And yeah.
Everybody out there, tune in next episode for more recovery fun. Bye-bye, everybody. I love you. Please help us help others. If you've liked what you've seen here today, please subscribe and share this podcast and help us get to 100 followers. We're looking for interaction with our audience. So please email recoveryfreedomrising@gmail.com or contact Milan South Okanagan Starcic on Facebook with questions, topic suggestions, or just comments. We'd love to hear from you.